Hey you guys, it's Cayley. I am back actually with another Q&A video. I have not done a Q&A video in a really long time, and the reason for that is because I didn't feel like it was getting as much traction as some of my other videos, and so I kind of assumed that they weren't worth watching. However, recently a few of you reached out to me asking for a dedicated specific eBay Q&A, and so that's what we're going to be doing here today. I suspect that maybe the Q&As weren't as popular because they were just focused on reselling in general and not on a specific platform. If that's the case and you would prefer eBay specific Q&As, Poshmark specific Q&As, then drop a comment down below and let me know. Into today's eBay questions. Just so you guys know, all of these are pulled off of my comments here on YouTube. I won't be sharing any screen names about the people who asked these questions. And just so you know, I have already answered them directly because some of these questions I feel like require a more immediate response rather than answering them on a Q&A video. But I figured they would be helpful to share with the rest of you. That way, if you guys are experiencing the same thing or have the same questions, I can share the information all at once. Let's dive into the questions. Someone said, "This is my new favorite reselling channel. So practical. Thank you. If you have time, could you briefly explain, do you have a SKU already assigned in your drafts and then you find its home, or do you edit your listing and SKU when putting the item away?" So again, I've already answered this person. What they're asking is, do we assign inventory numbers as we are listing, or do we list the item, set it active, and then when we go to put those items away, go back and edit the listing and add the SKU? And the answer to that question is, in most cases, we are putting items away in bulk, which means we are listing the items, setting them active, and then going back later to add the inventory number. The reason I do it this way is because we list so much that I feel that it saves us time and headaches to do that action all in one go and put away 20 items versus each time an item lists, assigning that number. That may change in the future, but that is currently how I feel comfortable doing it. That's not to say that you shouldn't go ahead and assign a SKU as you're listing the item, because that might be more beneficial to your process. Next question. I average about 4 to 5 listings a day. I have been selling on eBay for 92 days now. I cannot get over the 300 active listings mark. I am currently at 296 active and 274 sold. Then again, I'm part-time. I wish I could go to 20 a day. First of all, let me just say that those are amazing numbers. It sounds like you're selling as much as you have active, which is a really great sell-through rate. I wanted to throw this question out there because a lot of people focus on how big their store is. And as most people say, size doesn't matter. But in this case, it really doesn't matter. I could have 100 active listings in my store, but be selling through that every single month. Or I could have 3,000 items in my store and only be selling 5 items a month. So it's really all about how much you're selling, not how much you actively have listed. However, if you are wanting to grow your store, I will say, and this is kind of what I said to this person, was that it does take time and to not get discouraged. I would actually strive to have a smaller store with a higher sell-through rate versus having a large store and not selling very much. But if you are trying to bump up your store because you want a higher sales volume, it does take time. And if you're listing the right items, they're going to be selling. So it is going to take quite a bit of time to build up if you are listing the correct items. Someone said, I noticed you offer 30-day returns, some items free returns, and some items the buyer pays shipping. How do you decide which you are going to do? So I'll just first state that if you're new to eBay, you have different options with returns. You can choose to offer returns, you can choose to not offer returns. If you do offer returns, you can choose whether you pay the return shipping for the buyer or the buyer pays for that return shipping themselves. And the answer is, how do I decide which one to do? The answer is that I have not decided that yet. I actually have a mix, like this person stated, of basically half of my store is buyer paid shipping and half is I pay the shipping back. And the reason for doing that is because I was basically experimenting trying to figure out which one of these things worked better, if it impacted my sales, and what I wanted to do. And to be honest with you, I haven't noticed much of a difference. I haven't noticed a huge increase in returns or a huge increase or decrease in sales. So what I took away from this is basically you can do whatever works well for your business. But I will tell you that since I didn't notice much of a difference, there's really no benefit or problem with using one or the other. And since eBay suggests that we offer free returns for the buyer, I figure it can't hurt to do free returns. And so moving forward, I probably will switch my entire store over to me paying the return shipping because it just gives a better image to the buyer, and it's what eBay is asking us to do. And I found if we follow what eBay asks us to do, usually that means more sales. Someone said, I see people who are super successful on eBay, but every time I post something and someone purchases it, I get a message from them to text them or email them because they have a question about the item. Is this something that happens to you? I haven't ever texted with them or emailed them because I find it a little sketchy. And I did, again, already answer them because I felt that was a time-sensitive topic, but they were right on the money. They had a good inclination that this was a scam. I do have a video about eBay scams. If you guys would like to watch it, I will link that above. But there are typical, frequently used scams that a lot of these scammers look for newer eBay sellers who might not know that that is a scam, and that is one of them. So you never, on basically any platform, because I've had this happen to people and myself on Poshmark before, not just eBay, is that a buyer will ask you to contact them outside of the platform for the sale. And you should never under any circumstances do that. That is a scam, and that is how you get your account shut down or yourself taken advantage of. So if anyone is asking to take a transaction outside of any platform, it is best to contact that platform and report them. And the faster you do that, the faster you can get the item relisted for sale for true buyers. This person also, during our conversation, asked if there was any way to avoid it from happening. And what I told them is that basically, because they target newer accounts, you want to really work on building up your feedback score and your rapport on eBay because, again, scammers are looking for people who have newer accounts. And if they know that you're not newer, they are less likely to bother you. Now, I will be honest and say that I still occasionally on all platforms do get these kind of scams. It's just that I know better now, but they do still happen, but they are far and few in between now that I have some rapport on eBay. So I would focus on getting more sales on eBay, getting a good feedback score, and as you move forward with your business on the eBay platform, scammers are less likely to come after you. Someone said, hi Cayley, love watching your hauls. You briefly mentioned the eBay Vero for Allbirds. I have seen this happen to other sellers. It's understandable that eBay veros for stock photos, but even without the stock photo, why do you think they suspended sellers for selling Allbirds shoes? Just want to hear your perspective. So I'm still a little salty about that. But when, at least for me and from what I've seen circulating on Instagram on the reseller community, is that Allbirds came after sellers to give them veros through eBay, stating that the items were not authentic. And because we purchased them from thrift stores, we cannot prove that we got them from a verified seller, if that makes sense, because we can't just show them a Goodwill receipt and say that, yes, these are authentic. But what really stinks is that if people truly did purchase those from Allbirds or from a verified seller, and they, let's say, no longer have their receipt, how are they supposed to prove that those were indeed authentic and their true customers are not able to resell their shoes? Customers and resellers alike were really upset with this brand because they claim to be sustainable. And so you would think that they would want to help the environment by allowing the use of used goods through their brand. So basically they found a loophole where they could get us to take down our Allbirds without being able to prove that they were authentic. And so I think that this is just a way for them to discourage resellers from reselling their products, which again doesn't really make sense because they're claiming to be a sustainable brand. This person also asked, you mentioned that Anthropologie camel dress sold on eBay a couple of times, but the sold listings were a lot on Poshmark. Poshmark keeps the sold listings forever and eBay only keeps them for 3 months, so we never know how many total camel dresses sold on eBay, right? And this person is absolutely correct.
So what this is about is I talked about an Anthropology dress that I noticed did not have a lot of information on sold on eBay, but I went over to Poshmark and it looked like a ton of them had sold. And so I stated in that video that this dress would probably sell on Poshmark because more people seem interested in it.
But they're right. I might not be seeing all of the information on eBay because eBay only shows solds for the last 90 days or 3 months. And on Poshmark, there's a lot of information there. I just assumed that because I saw so many on Poshmark that it would sell there and that it had a higher sell-through rate on Poshmark, if that makes sense. But I could go back and check the dates of those listings to see when they actually sold, but I'm still gonna guess that it is more likely to sell on Poshmark than on eBay. I could also go to the Terapeak tab on eBay because that shows, I believe, up to a year's worth. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it definitely shows more than 3 months of information, and so I could better gauge the sell price on eBay and Poshmark. Nonetheless, it's going to be listed on both platforms. So if it sells on eBay, great. If it sells on Poshmark, great. But this person made a great point, just stating that, you know, on eBay, we're only seeing 90 days, and on Poshmark, we might be seeing a lot more in solds. So that's something to think about as you're doing comps. Someone asked, how do you decide which platform to sell on? I personally started on eBay, which is great because I think it is the hardest platform to sell on. So I really didn't decide which one to sell on. I just kind of started there because I hadn't heard about the other ones yet. In fact, when I originally started on eBay part-time, I don't even think Poshmark was a thing, and I had never really heard about Mercari. But if I was deciding now, I would say that eBay has the most users on their platform. Therefore, you are more likely to sell an item on eBay because you have a bigger audience. And then from there, I would look at Poshmark and Mercari to see basically who had the biggest audience and move from there, because more eyes on your items typically means more sales and a more likelihood that your item will sell quickly. So if you were going to pick between the 3 that I personally sell on, I would say if you're looking for sales and you're willing to do it, start with eBay because it is, you know, the most profitable in my opinion. However, if you're looking for the easiest platform to start on, I would definitely say Poshmark is the easiest to learn and understand. So it kind of depends on which way you want to go. Nonetheless, I highly recommend that you perfect one platform, no matter which one you pick, before moving on to the other one. If you don't do that, moving between different platforms can become extremely chaotic and really divert your attention away from ones that are already making you money. All right, guys, so I think that wraps up the Q&A today. I do have more questions, but I'll put that in a future Q&A video. Make sure and give me a thumbs up on your way out if you do enjoy the eBay Q&As. And also drop a comment down below on what kind of Q&As you like to see. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to hit the notification bell and the subscription button. That way you get notified as new content goes live. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.